Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for gathering here today as we explore a deeply nuanced subject: how men view sex with you. This exploration is not just about physical intimacy, it's a profound conversation about connection, understanding, and respect. Understanding the various perspectives that shape how men perceive sex is undoubtedly a complex and multifaceted topic. Each individual brings a distinct background to the table, influenced by a variety of factors ranging from personal experiences to societal norms. Truthfully, understanding these perspectives is crucial not only for fostering healthy relationships, but also for encouraging open communication and intimacy between partners. To begin, it's essential to recognize the role of cultural narratives in shaping masculine identity and sexuality. From a young age, men are often bombarded with messages about what it means to be masculine and how to approach relationships with women. Traditional narratives tend to emphasize behaviors like aggression, dominance, and physical conquest, which can lead to an overly simplistic view of sex as merely a physical act. Films, music, and even advertising often perpetuate the idea that men are only interested in sex for the sake of physical pleasure, reducing the emotional complexity of relationships to a mere biological drive. Yet, this perspective fails to capture the emotional richness that sex can offer. Many men yearn for intimacy, connection, and love, just as women do. In addition to cultural messages, we cannot discount the impact of personal history. Many men carry their childhood experiences, whether they're shaped by family dynamics, early romantic encounters, or friendships, into their adult relationships. For example, boys may witness how their fathers relate to women or how their mothers express affection. This upbringing can influence a man's expectations regarding intimacy and sexual relationships. If a man grew up in an environment where emotions were not openly discussed or where sex was considered taboo, he may struggle to express his feelings or understand his own needs in a relationship. Let's also consider the influence of peer interactions. Male friendships often reinforce certain behaviors and attitudes towards sex. The language used among friends, the pressures to conform to certain behaviors, or the competitive nature of male bonding can create an environment where superficial views of sex are valorized. Men may feel compelled to project an image of being emotionally uninvested in sexual encounters, primarily to gain acceptance within their social circles. However, this facade can lead to internal struggles where men grapple with the disconnect between their true desires for emotional connection and the societal pressure to adhere to a stereotype that depicts them as invulnerable and exclusively physically driven. Then there's the impact of the digital age, which has revolutionized how men approach sexuality. The proliferation of online platforms, dating apps, and explicit content can distort perceptions of intimacy, leading to misguided expectations. Instant gratification is readily available, and as a result, it can be easy to disengage emotionally from sexual relationships. Some men might find themselves stuck in a cycle where physical encounters are prioritized over meaningful connections. This cycle can perpetuate feelings of loneliness and inadequacy as the contrast between digital experiences and authentic relationships becomes painfully apparent. To navigate these disparities, it's vital to consider the psychological factors at play. Many men fear vulnerability or emotional exposure, stemming from societal norms that discourage expressions of weakness or insecurity. This fear can manifest in various ways, such as reluctance to invest emotionally in a relationship or avoidance of conversations about sexual needs and desires. Overcoming these barriers requires conscious effort. Building emotional intelligence is a crucial step. By understanding one's own feelings and motivations, men can approach relationships with greater clarity and authenticity. Moreover, education plays a pivotal role in reshaping how men view sex. By engaging in discussions that challenge stereotypes and broaden perspectives, we can create space for more nuanced and empathetic understandings of sexuality. Workshops, discussions, and resources that delve into emotional intimacy, consent, and healthy communication are instrumental in this journey. As we dissect these perspectives, it becomes evident that understanding how men view sex is not a matter of finding a single, uniform answer. Rather, it's about recognizing the diversity of experiences and the factors that inform them. We must approach this topic with empathy and an open heart, understanding that the journey toward mutual understanding and fulfillment in sexual relationships requires effort from both partners. In conclusion, acknowledging the myriad influences that shape how men perceive sex is essential for fostering deeper connections. By challenging societal norms, reflecting on personal experiences, and fostering open communication, we can move toward a more compassionate and holistic understanding of intimacy, one that transcends the physical act, enriching our relationships and emotional lives. The more educated we become about these perspectives, the more prepared we are to engage in fulfilling, mutually respectful sexual relationships, enhancing our connections and nurturing lasting bonds. Communication is undeniably the bedrock upon which any healthy relationship stands, and its importance cannot be overstated in the context of sexual relationships. When we discuss the dynamics of intimacy, the necessity of open dialogue becomes equally vital, impacting both emotional and physical connections. Even in the most harmonious partnerships, misunderstandings can arise if partners do not share their thoughts, feelings, and desires candidly. Therefore, prioritizing communication is essential for building a relationship where both individuals feel understood, respected, and fulfilled. Open and honest communication begins with establishing a safe space for both partners to express themselves without fear of judgment or ridicule. This requires an atmosphere where vulnerability is not only accepted, but encouraged. It's important for both partners to understand that discussing sexual needs, desires, and boundaries is a normal part of any relationship. When partners engage in these conversations, they create an environment where honesty thrives, making it easier to navigate the complexities of intimacy. For many people, especially those who might have been raised in environments where emotions were stifled, coming forward to discuss their feelings about sex can be daunting. However, recognizing that a healthy relationship thrives on transparency is a vital step toward mutual intimacy. Often, the fear of rejection or misunderstanding can prevent individuals from sharing their thoughts on sexual topics. This is particularly true when discussing desires or fantasies that might not align with their partner's views. Creating the right climate starts with active listening. It is foundational not only to understand what the other person is saying, but also to respond empathetically. This means validating your partner's feelings and demonstrating that their emotional well-being matters to you. This approach encourages a sense of security, prompting both partners to share their thoughts freely, including topics that may feel uncomfortable at first. To further facilitate this process, consider scheduling regular check-ins with your partner. These can be dedicated moments where you discuss not only your emotional states, but also your physical relationship. During these conversations, focus on what is working well and what could be improved. This proactive approach allows for ongoing dialogue and can prevent misunderstandings from festering or feelings of disconnect from building over time. These check-ins can also serve as a platform for both partners to express their sexual needs more clearly, enhancing mutual understanding. Discussing boundaries is another vital aspect of sexual communication. Each partner should feel empowered to articulate their comfort levels and to respect those of their partner. Setting explicit boundaries can alleviate anxiety and foster trust, as each person knows what is acceptable and what isn't. This is particularly relevant when exploring new experiences, as clear communication helps to navigate uncharted territory without stepping unintentionally on each other's emotional triggers. In addition to articulating desires and boundaries, it's also essential to check in during the experience of intimacy itself. Sometimes what one thought would be pleasurable might not turn out as expected. Encourage real-time feedback during intimate moments can form the experience for both partners. Simple questions like, "Does this feel good for you?" or "What do you like?" can create a dynamic where exchanges are free-flowing and responsive. This ongoing dialogue makes it possible to co-create intimacy that truly resonates with both partners. Now, let's not forget the role of emotional intelligence in effective communication. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing your own feelings and those of your partner, allowing you to navigate sensitive topics with greater ease. Being in tune with emotions can also defuse potential conflicts. For instance, if a partner seems distant or disengaged, understanding that this might stem from an internal struggle can prompt a gentle inquiry rather than a defensive reaction. This skill not only allows for deeper intimacy, but also nurtures the overall relationship. Yet even with the best intentions, misunderstandings can still happen. When that occurs, it's vital to approach the situation with a spirit of curiosity rather than judgment. If a conversation leads to feelings of hurt or offense, both partners should commit to unpacking those emotions together. This involves revisiting the initial communication, discussing what went wrong, and seeking resolution through collaboration and understanding. Besides verbal communication, expressing affection through nonverbal cues can enhance intimacy. Body language, touch, and even eye contact play critical roles in conveying feelings. Learning to understand your partner's nonverbal signals can serve as an additional layer of communication that enhances your connection. For instance, a gentle touch or a warm gaze can convey support, love, and desire, often saying what words cannot. In conclusion, prioritizing open dialogue and effective communication in sexual relationships is invaluable. Doing so lays the groundwork for building emotional and physical intimacy, enhancing trust and understanding between partners. By creating a safe space for expressing desires, discussing boundaries, and engaging in ongoing check-ins, couples can navigate the complexities of intimacy more smoothly. Ultimately, nurturing a culture of open dialogue fosters a more fulfilling and enriching sexual relationship, allowing both partners to deepen their connection and enjoy the journey together. Remember, the art of communication isn't just about talking. It's about listening, understanding, and growing together. The intersection of consent, emotional intelligence, and sexual intimacy is an area that requires careful consideration and understanding. At the heart of this intersection lies the fundamental principle that consent is not merely an agreement to engage in sexual activity. It is a dynamic, ongoing conversation marked by respect for personal boundaries. And emotional intelligence plays an essential role in navigating this landscape, as it encompasses the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions while also being attuned to the feelings of others. When partners bring emotional intelligence into their sexual relationships, they enhance their ability to communicate consent effectively and foster an environment of trust, safety, and profound connection. To begin with, understanding consent is critical in establishing a foundation for healthy sexual relationships. Consent must be clear, informed, and voluntary, which means that both partners should feel fully empowered to agree or to refuse at any stage of physical intimacy. This clear articulation of desires and boundaries is a form of respect that honors both individuals as equal participants in the relationship. However, consent does not exist in a vacuum. It must be contextualized within the emotional landscape of the relationship. Factors such as power dynamics, prior experiences, and individual comfort levels can all affect how consent is given and received. Hence, both partners should engage in discussions about what consent means to them personally and how it can be respected within the framework of their unique relationship. This is where emotional intelligence becomes crucial. To navigate the complexities that come with consent, partners must be adept at reading emotional cues and responding sensitively to each other's needs. This means being aware of nonverbal signals that may indicate discomfort or hesitation in your partner. Emotional intelligence allows individuals to create a space where their partner feels safe to express their feelings honestly, whether those feelings are related to eagerness, hesitation, or even fear. An emotionally intelligent partner will also recognize their own feelings and limitations, allowing them to communicate their boundaries effectively. Active listening is another essential component of consent that intertwines with emotional intelligence. Listening is not only about hearing the words that are spoken, but also about understanding the emotions and intentions behind those words. When discussing consent, partners must listen actively and empathetically, making sure that they do not merely nod in agreement while their mind wanders elsewhere. Listening to Bermanshires, Rosalind Cope, General Mills, Baggy Travers, Hope. Instead, they should engage with one another, asking follow-up questions that clarify each other's desires and boundaries. This commitment to understanding creates mutual respect and fosters a healthier, more fulfilling, intimate experience. Moreover, consent should not be viewed as a one-time checkbox to be ticked off before engaging in sexual activity. Instead, it is an ongoing dialogue that can evolve and change as feelings and circumstances shift. Emotional intelligence equips partners to check in with each other throughout their intimate experiences, making it easier to respond to any shifts in comfort levels. Questions like, "How are you feeling right now?" or "Is this what you want?" can pave the way for a fluid and responsive approach to consent, reinforcing the idea that both partners are engaged, respected, and in control of their own bodies and decisions. Another significant aspect of incorporating emotional intelligence into discussions about consent is recognizing the importance of respecting refusals. Each partner must understand that consent can be revoked at any time, and that choosing not to engage in a sexual act should be met with respect and understanding rather than frustration or reproach. An emotionally intelligent partner acknowledges their partner's right to set limits and remains open to discussing the reasons behind those boundaries without pressuring or shaming. This type of respectful interaction reinforces a culture of trust where both partners can feel secure in expressing their needs. Furthermore, educating oneself about the nuances of consent and emotional intelligence can substantially benefit relationships. This involves seeking out resources, engaging in discussions with trusted individuals, or attending workshops that focus on healthy relationships, communication, and consent. Being proactive in this aspect can empower both partners to foster a mindset that promotes not only personal growth, but also collective understanding. Lastly, it's crucial to recognize that the journey toward integrating consent and emotional intelligence is ongoing. Both partners may encounter challenges along the way, and addressing these challenges requires patience, openness, and a willingness to learn together. Making mistakes is part of this process. What matters is how partners respond to those mistakes and the lessons they take away from them. Practicing self-reflection, seeking feedback from one another, and committing to growth can significantly enhance the emotional bond and intimacy in any relationship. In conclusion, the relationship between consent, emotional intelligence, and sexual intimacy is intricate yet vital. A commitment to ongoing, respectful dialogue about consent, supported by emotional intelligence, can create a landscape where both partners feel valued and secure. This fosters deeper connections, encourages vulnerability, and enhances the overall sexual experience. Ultimately, understanding and practicing informed, enthusiastic consent within a framework of emotional intelligence not only enriches relationships, but also promotes a culture of mutual respect and trust, allowing intimacy to flourish in a healthy, inclusive manner. As partners navigate this journey together, they will find that the effort invested in understanding and practicing the role of emotional intelligence in fostering healthy sexual relationships is multifaceted and profoundly impactful. Emotional intelligence, often defined as the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions while also being able to recognize and influence the emotions of others, is a crucial component in navigating the complex landscape of intimate relationships. When partners cultivate emotional intelligence, they not only enhance their understanding of one another, but also enrich their emotional connection, paving the way for deeper intimacy, effective communication, and overall relationship satisfaction. At the core of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. This involves recognizing one's own emotional states, triggers, and reactions. In the context of sexual relationships, self-awareness can help individuals identify how their feelings may affect their intimacy with their partner. For instance, if someone feels stress from work or other external factors, by acknowledging these emotions, individuals can communicate more effectively with their partners about what they are experiencing. This transparency allows both partners to approach intimacy with honesty and understanding. Furthermore, self-awareness allows individuals to understand their own sexual desires, preferences, and boundaries more clearly. This knowledge enhances their ability to communicate effectively with their partner. For example, if one partner is aware of their discomfort with certain sexual activities, they can express this to their partner, helping to set clear boundaries that both parties can respect. This ongoing dialogue creates a foundation of mutual respect and understanding, allowing both partners to explore their intimacy more deeply without the fear of crossing lines or violating boundaries. Building on self-awareness is the ability to manage emotions. In any intimate relationship, individuals may experience a wide range of feelings, everything from excitement and joy to anxiety and fear. Learning how to manage these emotions is vital for maintaining a healthy sexual relationship. Emotional regulation can help in moments of vulnerability or tension, fostering environments where both partners feel comfortable addressing their concerns openly. For instance, if conflicts arise regarding sexual compatibility or differing desires, emotional regulation can prevent heated arguments from escalating into deeper conflicts. Instead, partners can approach these discussions with calmness and clarity, which supports more constructive conversations. Moreover, emotional intelligence encompasses empathy, the ability to put oneself in another's shoes and understand their feelings and emotional states. In the realm of sexual relationships, empathy plays a critical role in nurturing emotional closeness. When partners are empathetic, they become more attuned to each other's needs, fears, and desires. This attunement translates to a more fulfilling, intimate experience for both partners. By being aware of and sensitive to the emotions of their partner, individuals can respond with kindness and support, creating a safe and comforting space for exploration and self Empathy also fosters better communication about sexual topics that may otherwise be challenging to discuss. When one partner knows that the other possesses a genuine understanding of their feelings, they may be more inclined to open up about their fears or desires, such as exploring a new aspect of their sexual relationship. For instance, if a partner expresses insecurity about their body image, an empathetic response, characterized by validation and reassurance, can mitigate feelings of inadequacy and encourage a deeper connection. Partners can then focus on building each other's self-esteem and accepting each other's vulnerabilities, leading to more profound intimacy. Another key element of emotional intelligence is social skills. Effective social skills entail the ability to communicate clearly, resolve conflicts amicably, and build and maintain relationships. In the context of sexual relationships, developing these skills is vital for nurturing an atmosphere of trust and openness. When incidents of miscommunication or misunderstanding occur, partners with strong social skills can navigate these moments with diplomacy and consideration. They can articulate their feelings and understand their partner's perspective, thus turning potential conflicts into opportunities for growth. For example, if one partner is unhappy with the frequency of physical intimacy, this is a sensitive topic that can easily lead to defensiveness or hurt feelings. An emotionally intelligent partner would approach the discussion with sensitivity, using I statements to express feelings without blaming or criticizing the other. They would listen actively to their partner's concerns, validating their feelings and working collaboratively towards a solution that meets both partners' needs. This skill significantly enhances both partners' emotional safety, making it easier to explore each other's desires and preferences without fear of judgment. Additionally, emotional intelligence encourages a growth mindset within relationships. Partners who embrace emotional learning view challenges and conflicts as opportunities for development and understanding. They remain open to feedback, willing to explore new ways to enhance their intimacy and emotional connection. This perspective allows couples to navigate setbacks with resilience rather than allowing conflict to diminish their bond. The interplay between emotional intelligence and sexual relationships ultimately encourages partners to cultivate a learning journey together. By prioritizing emotional awareness, empathy, and communication, couples can strengthen their bond and navigate the complexities of intimacy with confidence and compassion. In conclusion, emotional intelligence serves as a crucial pillar in fostering healthy sexual relationships. By practicing self-awareness, emotional regulation, empathy, and effective social skills, partners can build a trusting, fulfilling environment that enhances both their emotional intimacy and sexual satisfaction. As individuals grow in their understanding of themselves and their partner, the emotional connection deepens, paving the way for a healthier, resilient, and profoundly intimate relationship. The insights gained through this emotional journey form the foundation for a partnership that thrives on openness, respect, and vulnerability, ensuring that both partners can experience the fullness of sexual intimacy.